Surviving 5 years as Godzilla in Kaiju Universe. Welcome back, Kaiju members. I'm the Talking Godzilla, and let's pick our Gojira for this episode. Godzilla 2014 fits perfectly, and Godzilla is born. Let's take a closer look at our beautiful Kaiju. Day 1 of year 1. We arrive on shore, of course, and already spotted a Muto. Unbelievable. Wasting no time focusing on humans and getting straight into the action with an atomic firestorm. Okay. Of course the Muto flees, running enough into the ocean, which gave me time to grind and level up by what Godzilla does best in every movie or series ever. Destroying buildings. But the Muto returned for a rematch and stopped me before I could even get close to any bridges. How rude. Kept circling and damaging me, but I was too busy praising Godzilla's presence. Used up all of its attacks and didn't even need another Muto to pin me down and secure their eggs. Guess now I need 5 years to rest. But no one's got time for that, not even Godzilla. And continued rampaging through the city and met another fellow Godzilla. Ah yes, the Monsterverse turned into the Multiverse. And guess what? That Muto wasn't liking that idea of us teaming up. It even began attacking a Shin Godzilla. Shortly after, it noticed I was the biggest threat after the other two Godzillas also left me alone. And while desperately trying to pin the Muto down this time, I just wasn't strong enough. And it casually walked off as if it is an everyday thing. Throughout this playthrough, I also met Kong, who escaped from Skull Island. Already made his trip to the Hollow Earth and picked up the axe, I see. Went back in time and began demolishing an older Godzilla version, aka 2014, me. His punches were indeed stronger than mine, and without my other abilities, I for once was actually toast. Half the time, it didn't even need the axe. Do you think it could not absorb the atomic firestorm beam, what it's called then, from 2014? Or in this case, 2015? Apparently these were Ultima's buildings to destroy, and timelines got mixed up again when he confused me for a jet jaguar. Me and my Godzilla let out an agonizing cry of being too weak. So with a year past, 2 begins, except for a Shin Gojira sequel. He sadly didn't last long either. Dorsal beams has no effect, and a too slow of a reaction made him go into his 5th unknown form, completely frozen. Yeah, you can see the little humans on the tail there. The 2019 Gojira from earlier saw me as a traitor to the Brotherhood and charged at me while I tried to get a hold of his head to shoot my atomic breath head. Yeah, fortunately for me, buildings helped me, and he got him stuck. He shot his breath all over the place, except for my direction. Perhaps he was testing his ultimate atomic breath towards the ground or something for later. While also being distracted by Kong's calls, I got him with a few punches until a knockout, and finally a roar of victory. But was soon enough outshined by this magnificent flying Gojira. What perfectly landed on top of the mountain. Now, that's impressive, so I had to let him live. As that lives in my head rent-free, I made my way towards Tokyo, which now, in my 3rd year, took on 3 separate Godzillas. That Shin gave me enough power to take this one on the beach. The other one already tried to flee, but I stopped him in his tracks just in time. I was like, get over here. You're not getting anywhere. The final one didn't particularly like that either and tried to finish the deal. But my powers grew and used my weight to literally stomp on him to make myself some Godzilla-shaped pancakes for breakfast. Of course, I can't feel all too happy for too long as this Mecha Godzilla 2021 came out of nowhere with his mighty 360 head spinning attacks. Made me slip on a banana peel. As I returned for revenge, a G19 was already fighting off 2 of them, and just before a female Muto could help them, I blocked his way with the help of this other Gojira, and at first it looked like the other 2 mechas backed off. only for them to re-engage and demolish him as he tried to run. Wrong game, buddy. That's another game, Godzilla Run, yeah. Mentions of other games weren't tolerated, so they quickly turned their heads towards me, and you don't really need a high IQ to figure out I was pretty much history. I swear, this is all this Muto's fault, isn't it? Can't even fight me without having the support of 2 skyscraping tall robots. Jet Jaguar got hacked by the Xilians and mistook me for an Ultima. This isn't Final Wars beta, although he smoothly dodged my teleattacks. My face slaps were penetrating steel now after I learned a few new tricks. My claws were scraping through his body and dismantled a few wires for him to bug out and hilariously fall onto the ground as I ran out of energy. I found a simple little off switch on the back and took the batteries out. This time it got a little bit more serious. A destroyer, which took down Juno in the early years, tried to take me down too. Now it being switched where the adults survived. And the era where I eventually tail slammed the Muto in the building, which was a victory on itself. However, I was so heavily damaged from all that fighting throughout the years that my body parts were literally falling off or disappearing. What? I swam down into the depths to my home to recover. A few months, so to speak, of working out later, and an explosive upgrade gifted by Zero himself, I was juiced up and ready to take on any kaiju, which this Monster Zero saw and called over all of his companions on the server with its alpha roar. Giving the volcano back to the fire demon pterodactyl, it swooped down and mocked my ignorance with a flyby to reveal his hypnotized Godzilla allies. Unlike in the snowy Antarctica, it did not see this atomic breath coming its way. However, long behold, it worked. The other Godzilla started blasting towards me. I could not let this monster escape. Launching myself towards it and trying to clip its wings, it flew off anyway. Deja vu. And the other Godzilla, sure enough, caught up on me and pinned me down instead. What is this betrayal? But I'm still shooting my atomic breath while being knocked down, hoping it does damage. Then, when it all seemed lost, an adorable Kamata-kun helped and wanted to guide me towards the 3-headed Hydra. So I followed, because how can I not? It's a little Kamata-kun. He led me to the wrong place though, as no one was here. Of course, King Ghidorah already escaped from the ice. After searching and leveling up, Monster Zero did not expect me to return either, and got shot out of the air. A Muto killing tail slam wasn't enough though, which set up his fleeing technique again. Until fully confronting my wrath and me dodging his gravity beams, this surely was my time. Activating some new abilities with this kaiju caused the Ghidorah to lose his heads and fall onto the ground. A male Muto of all kaijus swept in and it was too late. Even another awoken Godzilla 2021 grabbed its wings but was too low to tank it, so with another tail slam, the final Muto was defeated, as this one didn't bow down to the king. Missing a pile of buildings to stand on, a victorious roar and apparently beam was inevitable. Until, without a doubt, the King Ghidorah got reactivated as a Mecha Godzilla and one punch KO'd me into the supposing next movie. But all I need is the help of a fellow kaiju. Not Kong, but the not yet sacrificed Mothra, which lent me her powers for me to reach and evolve into my thermonuclear version, aka Burning Godzilla. I myself don't have the skin for that, but the Godzilla me in the game does. The buildings were melting around me just when another Muto attacked me. Where do they all keep coming from? I guess some of these eggs hatched and the military didn't destroy all of them back in 2014. But it didn't bother me too much. The wings were melting and it was a mere slap away from being a flightless turkey for Thanksgiving. With that statement, I was so confident I took on the Mechagodzilla again with its previous Monster Zero ally. Mechagodzilla's cannon did surprisingly do more damage, quite the contrary for Ghidorah as he sought for Mecha's help, which it sure enough got, and its buzzsaw claws penetrated by fire skin so deeply I even screeched for Mothra's upgrades once again. And what is Godzilla without going absolutely God mode? With the cause of overheating, no, not changing skins or whatsoever, caused me to overpower even the Mechagodzilla as it passed through its melting point and its metal began to become fluid. Truly, this is Godzilla's ultimate form, even beyond the 2021 version. And after all these years, even the toughest Kaijus were defeated. Yes, even that Godzilla celebrating with some amazing dance moves. He couldn't believe it either. Muto finally realized he couldn't take me on anymore and switched sides along with his Rodan, and they escorted me to the podium, where I began training even further for the next possible video you Kaiju members can suggest in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this video with a like. Let's try to reach 500 likes this time. Not sure if that's possible, to be honest. But anyway, subscribe to get notified if you would like to see a part 2. But that's all for now. I gotta head back into the ocean. Remember to heal up for, that next episode. Goodbye, the Talking Godzilla. Out.